I'm walking through the blueprints of ice of ice. The hallways are narrow and covered in dust. I remember the day that we broke the ground, before every promise came tumbling down. We built up the walls to keep out the cold, but we left out the windows for light to take hold. Now I'm standing alone in a frame made of pine, looking for traces of your life and mine. The foundation is shifting, the ceiling is low. I'm losing the places we used to go. And it's a beautiful architecture of regret, a monument built out of things we haven't said yet. I'm wandering rooms where the echoes still bloom, painting the walls in a shade of your gloom. We designed it for two, but the math was all wrong. Now I'm living in a house where I don't belong. You were the anchor, I was the glass, watching the seasons and shadows all pass. We poured all our secrets into the cement. Now I'm paying the price for the time that we spent. There's a crack in the doorway where you used to stand. I try to repair it with shaking hands, but you can't fix a home when the spirit is fled, and you can't find the living inside of the dead. In this beautiful architecture of regret, a monument built out of things we haven't said yet. I'm wandering rooms where the echoes still bloom, painting the walls in a shade of your gloom. We designed it for two, but the math was all wrong. Now I'm living in a house where I don't belong. Should've used stronger words, should've loved like I could, but the blueprints are torn and the garden is dead, and I'm trapped in the things that I left in my head. The roof is leaking memories and they're drowning me. One brick at a time, I watched it all fall. Now there's nothing but space where there once was a wall, just the blueprints and the silence and the architecture of regret. The lid is heavy, the wood is cold, like a secret that's grown too bitter to hold. I used to know the way your fingers danced in the middle of the night in a kitchen trance, but the air grew still and the house grew quiet. Now the silence is starting to ride. I'm looking at the ivory turning to bone, a melody dying all on its own. I reach for a chord, but the C major's flat. Everything's broken, I'm used to that. There's dust on the piano strings tonight, settling in where we used to be bright. Every note that I strike feels like losing a friend, a song that's forgotten before fit. Now I'm leaning my head on the middle of it. There's a ring from your glass on the polished veneer, the only physical proof that you were ever here. I try to play our song, the one from the start, but I can't find the rhythm without your heart. The hammer hits felt, but it's muffled and thin. The sound of a losing streak starting again. Feels like losing a friend, a song that's forgotten before the end. I'm playing the ghosts of the things we once said, but the wires are rusted, the music is dead. Just gray on the gold and a heart out of tune, left in the dark of a hollow afternoon. If I blow it all away, will you reappear? If I tune every string, dust isn't them, the dust is just me. Are clinking like wind chimes in a breeze that I can't even feel. I'm staring at gaps in the wardrobe, trying to make all of this real. There's a ghost of your scent on a sweater that you decided you didn't need. Now the cedar is cold and the shelf is a hole where the heart of this house used to bleed. It's funny how fabric can carry a weight more than the words that we whisper too late. And all these half-empty closets are screaming much louder than me. There's a space on the floor where your shoes used to be. Now it's just a graveyard of you used to be's. I'm folding the silence, I'm tucking it in under the skin where your touch should have been. Half of the hangers, but all of the pain left in the closets, out of the rain. I found a straight button by the baseboard, a little white circle of stay. But I don't have the thread left to mend us, and I don't have the breath left to pray. Half of the towels are missing, the bathroom mirror looks wider tonight. I'm learning that leaving is a slow motion thing, a ghost moving out of the light. And all these half-empty closets are screaming much louder than me. There's a space on the floor where your shoes used to be. Now it's just a graveyard of used to be's. I'm folding the silence, I'm tucking it in under the skin where your touch should have been. Half of the hangers, but all of the pain left in the closets, out of the rain. I could heavy. The door open, just a crack in case you forgot something, in case you come back. But it's just wood and wire and half-empty closets in me. I sat down to write you a letter to explain why I'm better off gone. But the words started blurring together before I could reach for the dawn. The window is leaking the moonlight, the coffee is turned into stone, and I'm chasing the ghost of your handprint in a house that feels far too much like home. My hands are shaking and the rhythm is wrong. I'm trying to tell you where we both belong, but it's just ink on a damn page, bleeding through the lines we used to know, like a heart in a birdcage with nowhere left for all this love to go. The more that I cry, the less I can say. The blue turns to gray and it washes away. I'm losing the words at the turn of the stage, just blurred out ink on a damn page. I remember the way that you whispered that forever was written in stone, but stone can be broken by winter, and I'm freezing here all on my own. I try to describe how I miss you, but the teardrops, they hit the first line. Now I love you looks more like a shadow of a story that's no longer mine. Yeah, it's just ink on a damn page, bleeding through the lines we used to know, like a heart in a birdcage with nowhere left for all this love to go. The more that I cry, the less I can say. The blue turns to gray and it washes away. I'm losing the words at the turn of the stage, just blurred out ink on a damn page. Oh, maybe the silence is more than the pen. Maybe we're chapters that won't start again, and I'm pressing so hard that the paper might tear, reaching for someone who's no longer there, no longer there, no longer there. Now it's just ink on a damn page, bleeding through the lines we used to know. I'm losing the words at the turn of the stage, just blurred out ink on a damn page. Depends on the floor now, the paper is soaked through. I ran out of ink before I could save you. is open, the curtains are thin. I'm watching the autumn come shivering in. The letters you wrote are all spread on the floor, like leaves that got stuck in the crack of the door. The wind wants to take them, it's pulling at the ink, but I'm holding them down so I don't have to think. I'm using my chest as a stone for the pile, trying to save every word for a while. Everything's moving, everything flies, the clouds and the birds and the light in your eyes. But I'm staying heavy, I'm staying right here, pinned to the ghost of a you. 'Cause we got paperweight hearts in a hurricane gale, trying to stay steady while the colors all pale. You were the anchor, but the rope went snap. Now I'm just a memory, perfectly trapped, transparent and heavy, frozen in glass, watching the rest of the world start to pass. Just a paperweight heart, holding down a love that fell apart. There's a flower inside it, or a swirl of deep blue, a moment of us that'll never be new. If I let go of the pages, the room would be bare, just empty floorboards and cold winter air. So I sit in the center, I don't make a sound, keeping the ghost from leaving the ground. People say fly and they say let it go, but they don't see the ice underneath the snow. 'Cause we got paperweight hearts in a hurricane gale, trying to stay steady while the colors all pale. You were the anchor, but the rope went snap. Now I'm just a memory, perfectly trapped, transparent and heavy, frozen in glass, watching the rest of the world start to pass. Just a paperweight heart, holding down a love that fell apart. Don't lift the weight, the pages will scatter. If the glass doesn't break, does the heartbreak even matter? Does it even matter? The wind is still howling, but the letters stay still. I'm holding the world back by the force of my will, just a paperweight, just a heart. The sun hits the floor at a jagged angle, and I'm tracing lines I can't untangle. There's a silhouette leaning against the wall, but when I reach out, there's nothing at all. Just a trick of the light and a tired mind, looking for something I left behind. I see you in the kitchen, I see you by the door, but you don't live in this light anymore. It's a flicker, it's a flash, it's a ghost in the glass, watching the ghost of our happiness pass. And we're just shadows of a formless, dissolving into the evening dust, longer than the truth and darker than the light, stretch across the ceiling as the day goes by. I'm reaching for a hand that's made of shade, watching how the colors of our life have decayed. No more fight, no more trust, just the shadows of a former us. The street lamps flicker on the wet pavement, like a heart that's waiting for its last payment. I saw your profile in a passing car, but you're light years away, no matter how far. We used to be the sun, we used to be the flame. Now I'm just a whisper of a hollowed out name. The outlines are blurring, the edges are soft, like the smoke from a fire we left in the loft. Yeah, we're just shadows of a former us, dissolving into the evening dust, longer than the truth and darker than the light, stretched across the ceiling as the day goes by. I'm reaching for a hand that's made of shade, watching how the colors of our life have decayed. No more fire, no more trust, just the shadows of a former us. Turn on the lights, make it all go away. I can't keep living in this version of gray, but even in the dark I can feel the shape of a love that I built, and I can't escape. It's etched in the floor, it's burnt in the wood. I'd kill the light forever if I thought you'd stay for good. The sun's going down, the room's turning black, even the shadows aren't coming back, just the memory of a former us. The radio dial is stuck between the stations, just a hum and a hiss where your voice used to be. I'm driving south past the old installations, watching the fog roll in over the sea. I keep reaching for the knob to kill the silence, but the silence is the only thing that's true. Just a long gray stretch of saltwater violence between the man I am and the ghost of you. And the signal's breaking up, it's getting thin. I don't know where I end and the waves begin. It's just static on the coastline, white noise in my head. Everything we whispered and all the things we never said. I'm screaming at the horizon, but the tide is coming in to wash away the places where your hands have been. Yeah, it's a beautiful view of a life on the line, just me and the static on the coastline. There's a lighthouse blinking like a tired eye, warning the ships of the things they can't see. I'm a wreck on the rocks under a bruised purple sky. the static on the coastline. White noise in my head. Everything we whispered and all the things we never said. I'm screaming at the horizon, but the tide is coming in to wash away the places where your hands have been. Yeah, it's a beautiful view of a life on the line. Just me and the static on the coastline. Can you hear me? Are you out there? The frequency is drifting, I'm losing the spark. Just a flickering flame in the cold and the dark. If I drive far enough, does the memory stop? Or do I just run out of road at the drop? Signal's gone. It's just the wind now. Just the salt in my lungs. Static. Nothing but static. Streetlights are humming a low, lonely tune. I'm tracing your shape on the face of the moon. I try to walk forward, to step into the light, but something is pulling me back through the night. It's not a hand on my shoulder or a voice in the hall. It's a thread made of nothing, but it's stronger than all. I've packed up the boxes, I've painted the walls, but I still hear your name when the evening calls. I'm walking on water, I'm sinking like lead. I'm chasing a shadow that lives in my head, and I'm tethered to a ghost, anchored to a dream. Nothing in this house is as solid as it seems. I'm reaching for the shore, but I'm caught in the tide of a love that didn't leave. It just stepped inside. You're the weight in my footsteps, the chill in my bones, the king of a kingdom of cold, empty stones. Yeah, I'm tethered to a ghost, and I can't let go. I sat in our seat. I watched all the strangers pass by on the street. I ordered for two, then I remembered the truth. There's a hole in the booth, there's a hole in my youth. The rope is invisible, silver and thin, wrapped round my heart where the us used to begin. Every mile I travel, the tension just grows. Where the ghost goes, everyone knows I go. And I'm tethered to a ghost, anchored to a dream. Nothing in this house is as solid as it seems. I'm reaching for the shore, but I'm caught in the tide of a love that didn't Tethered, still tethered to you. I'm sitting on the edge of the unmade bed, tracing the patterns of the things you said. The sheets are still soft like a Sunday prayer, but there's a sharp sour scent hanging in the air. We were vintage wine in a crystal glass, thinking the sweetness would always last. But the cork stayed out and the air got in. Now I don't know where the spoils begin. Oh, it's velvet and vinegar, a bitter kind of blue. The way that I'm wrapped in the memory of you, so soft against my skin, but it burns in my throat. A beautiful ship that's forgotten how to float. 1 minute you're silk, the next you're the sting. It's the heaviest weight, this hollow ring. Just velvet and vinegar, and everything in between. I remember the nights when your touch was grace. Now I can't even look at your empty space. It's a slow motion crash, it's a quiet war. I'm not even sure what we're crying for. I reach for the fabric, I reach for the light, but the taste on my tongue is turning to night. How does a heart go from tender to tart? How do the best pieces fall so far apart? It's the sting in the wound, it's the silk on the floor. I'm wanting you less and wanting you more. Oh, it's velvet and vinegar, a bitter kind of blue. The way that I'm wrapped in the memory of you, so soft against my skin, but it burns in my throat. A beautiful ship that's forgotten how to float. 1 minute you're silk, the next you're the sting. It's the heaviest weight, this hollow ring. Just velvet and vinegar. I'm trying to wash the taste away, but the purple stains are here to stay. It's smooth, then it's sharp. It's light, then it's dark. A little bit of sugar wouldn't fix it now. The silk is all frayed and I don't know how to love the velvet without the vinegar. The floorboards only creak when I'm alone. The hallway has a rhythm of its own. I left the lamp on in the corner of the room to cast a shadow through this heavy afternoon. I'm holding on to air where your waist used to be, counting all the ghosts that are living here with me. I haven't moved the shoes you left beside the door. I'm just not ready for a clean and empty floor. No music playing, just the hum of the fridge. A lonely heart is such a narrow bridge, and it's a slow dance in a quiet house, moving like a shadow, quiet as a mouse. I'm swaying to the sound of the clock on the wall, waiting for a footstep that'll never really fall. Around the kitchen in a daze and a dream. Life isn't never as soft as it seems, just a slow dance in a quiet house. The dust is settling on the records we played. I'm watching how the color of the wallpaper tried to hum our song, but I lost the key. The silence in the kitchen is louder than me. There's a coldness in the wood, a chill in the air. I'm dancing with the ghost of a ghost who isn't there. One step for the laughter, two for the pain. I'm learning how to waltz inside the pouring rain, and it's a slow dance in a quiet house, moving like a shadow, quiet as a mouse. I'm swaying to the sound of the clock on the wall, waiting for a footstep that'll never really fall. Round and round the kitchen in a daze, in a dream. Life is never as soft as it seems, just a slow dance in a quiet house. Lost the breathe, left, right, leave, but I can't find the exit, I can't find the light, so I'll keep on dancing through the middle of the night. The sun's coming up, but the rooms are still gray. I'll find a way to let you go, just not today.